Hi, this is Wes Fryer. Today is April the 5th, 2022, and this is a video I'm actually creating for Danielle Sappington and Whitney Finley, but it may be something that other people can find helpful. For the past 5 years or so, I've been helping our senior English creative writing teacher to help students who are making picture books actually, create their books on Lulu.com, but then print really awesome but not very expensive paper color copies like this from Lulu.com. And so what I want to document is the process of taking the EPUB that students create using the web-based version of bookcreator.com. There's an iPad version as well. And if there's another way to do this, love to find out what it is. But this is the work through or the workaround. And what this basically involves is students turning in their EPUB and saying, hey, I'm done, and then I make this little change using the preview app on my Mac, and then I can put it into Lulu for them. Now, students could do this themselves. In fact, maybe this video is going to be shown to students, but the thing is you have to have an iPad and the iPad version of Book Creator, which is not free, in order to do this part. So here we go. Here's the demo. So here in Google Classroom, one of our students has turned in his book. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this EPUB book that he has made. I actually need to drawing the picture there. I need to make a folder for him. So I've got all of these books. Well, let me show you where we're going with this. So the book here is the EPUB version. I'm going to bring it over into the Book Creator app, which I'm going to show you. I've got the iPad version running here. I'm going to airdrop it over. But then I'm going to export it as a PDF, and so I'm going to have that PDF. I'm going to export the cover, and then I'm going to make this little Lulu version that we can go put on to Lulu.com. Okay, kind of complicated. I do have a document, and I'll link that Google Doc in the description of this video that explains how to do this step by step, but it just may be easier to see this done. Okay, so I need to make a little folder for Jack here. So I'm going to make a folder for Jack, and I have downloaded the file that he turned into Google Classroom. This is the EPUB, but this EPUB is not ready to just upload to Lulu. So this is what I'm going to do. And again, if there's an easier way to do this, love to know it. But this is how I've figured out this works. And we don't have but probably 12 or so students in this class, so this isn't a crazy amount of work, but it does take a little time. I'm going to airdrop this over to my iPad. So I'm dropping it over here on my iPad, and then I'm going to show you my iPad. Ta-da! And it pops up and says, hey, Wes, what do you want to do with this file? And I'm going to tap Book Creator, and so it's going to bring this EPUB over here into Book Creator. Now I'll go ahead and tap on the name here, and I'm going to rename it here, the Loch Ness Friend. And this is something that students can do on the website, but in order to have anyway, that's meta information, be correct. It's not the end of the world if we don't do that. Here's what I need to do, and I've only figured out how to do this using the iPad version. I'm going to click this icon here at the bottom that's the share square. Okay, that's the box with the arrow, and I'm going to tap that. And it has the option to export as a PDF. And I'm going to choose single pages, because what I need is these books print as 6-inch by 9-inch books, and so I'm going to need to get a PDF that exactly has those margins. So now it says, what do you want to do? Well, I'm just going to airdrop it back to myself. So I'm going to tap the name of my computer there, and now that PDF, just airdropped right over, and I am now finished using the iPad. Okay, I've used the iPad for what I needed to do. Now I can do everything else on my Mac. And so what I'm going to do now is I want to come over to my folder that I created for Jack here. I like to view these as a list and have them sorted by date modified. So right there at the top, look at that. There's Jack's There's his original EPUB. And now when I go to my downloads folder here on my Mac, again, sorted by date modified. Look, there's the Loch Ness Friend as a PDF file, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and open this up, but this is not ready to go on to lulu.com to order for printing. And the reason is that the margins are not exactly right. They're close, but they're not exactly right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to File, and I'm in the Preview application, which is native on the Mac, and I'm going to choose Print, okay? But I am going to choose a different paper size, okay? Now, I have created a custom paper size that I have called lulu.com. That is a 6 by 9 inch paper size. You can go in and manage these custom sizes, and see what I did here? I just created, with this little plus, a custom size, and I said 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall, no margins. That's it. And so now when I want to do this, I can just select it. Now notice how this is a black and white. You need to have a color printer installed on your Mac to do this, and you'll select that color printer. We're really not going to print it on the color printer. We're going to make a PDF file, but we're changing the margins to be exactly 6 inches by 9 inches because that's what Lulu needs. So now I can come down here and click where it says PDF, Save as PDF, and I can go into Jack's folder here. It's always helpful to be organized with your folders. And I'm going to change this to say Jack's name. And I'm going to say the Loch Ness Friend, and I'm going to put the word Lulu at the end because I want to signal to myself that, oops, actually I guess that would be in the meta information that the PDF has. I got to do it at the top. There we go. The Loch Ness Friend Lulu. I want to signal to myself which version is ready for lulu.com. Okay? So now I am ready to go to lulu.com and create a printable version of this book. Okay? Let me show you how that works. So here we are on lulu.com. I have already created my account, and so I'm just going to sign in to the account that I've created. And isn't that lovely? Let me pause here for a moment. Okay, I went to my password manager and got my account. So now I'm signed in, and if I click on my projects, you can see that there's all these projects. Now, if you wanted to, if Danielle or whoever is helping manage this project with Ms. Finley, you could actually send this Lulu Ready PDF to students, and then they could, on their own Lulu account, do this. There's a lot of steps. It's easier to just do this for them, so that's what I've done. You can see I've got a different account for each one. Now, there's one other thing, actually, that I'm going to need, and that's going to be the cover. So let me do that really quick. I'm going to open up the Lulu PDF version here, and I'm going to go ahead and choose File, Export, and I'm going to make sure I have JPEG, and this is going to be the cover of the, it's just going to be the first page of the book, saved as an image, okay? So now, this JPEG image, okay, is ready to be used as a thumbnail on the website, and we need to do one other thing. I love to use this program Sketch, so I'm going to open this up in Sketch, and I'm going to use keyboard shortcuts here, but I use my tools and go to crop, resize, and so it's Option Command K, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make an almost square version of this picture because the cover in Lulu, in the cover builder, needs that size, okay? So here that is. I'm going to drag that over, and I will say that this is cover 2, and basically that's just the little image there. Okay, so what have I done? I took the original EPUB file over on my iPad. I imported it into Book Creator. I exported it as a PDF, okay? And then I opened up that PDF and I printed it using a custom margin for 6 by 9. Okay, now with these 3 pieces, the Lulu PDF that has exactly 6 by 9 margins, and then that square cover, I'm basically ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to choose to create a project, and this is going to be a print book, so that's fine. But I'm going to choose publish my book as my goal, but I don't really need to do it for global distribution. So I'm just going to do it for the Lulu bookstore. Okay, and so I need to give this a title, and so the title of this book is The Loch Ness Friend, and I'll say that this is in English. Again, I've got I have a document that goes through all of these step by step, which is kind of nicer sometimes to see than just watching a whole long screencast like this. All right, so that's good. Title, it's in English, and it's a children's book. I'm going to click Add Copyright Information, and so I don't really need anything for subtitles and editions, but I do need to put Jack's name in here. Okay, and then I'm going to put him down as the copyright holder. The copyright year is 2022. Okay, and then I'm not going to get an ISBN number, so I'm going to design the book. Okay, here we are. Now, this is the interior file upload. This is why we've done this crazy thing to change the margins. And I guess you could do this probably with an Adobe product. What you need is that PDF file to be resized so it's exactly 6 by 9. I'm going to upload my file, and I'm going to go to my folder, and I'm going to choose the Lulu version, the Loch Ness Friend Lulu version. I'm going to open it, and then Lulu is going to upload this and analyze it, validate it. And the wonderful thing is, it's going to validate and be great. Now, it will probably say on all of your files, oh, you have some images that aren't high enough resolution. Whatever. I don't worry about that because it's still going to work. Okay, these books will look okay. If we wanted to be fancier, we could go in and fix those, but that is going to work. So it is recognized that this is going to be a U.S. trade book 6 by 9 and how many pages it has. And so we've got to choose the color and the different settings here. So I'm going to choose a color premium print. For paper type, I'm going to choose coated white. And then paperback is usually cheaper, but for some reason it's not always available, so I go with saddle stitch. You can do either paperback or saddle stitch, and then I just choose matte. At this point, Lulu is going to generate the cost, and hey, Jack's book is going to cost $5.82 to print. Isn't that great? Plus the shipping. The shipping is sometimes almost as much as the actual printing cost is. And now's the cover. Well, again, you could design a cover and be fancier. I just choose the same cover for everybody. I go to the Lulu Quick Design Cover Designer. I need to put Jack's name here as the author. Basically, I fill in as little information as needed here. And then under description, I go ahead and I'm going to have to open it up. I have a little template saved, and it's with the email that I'm going to send to the kids about their book. And here is the actual PDF file, tips and lessons learned on publishing books to Lulu.com. By the way, this entire video I'm going to leave here on our student author page, which is studentauthors.cassidy.org. And then I've got a link here called Creating eBooks. And this is where I have a slideshow, tips and tricks, and things like that. This is where I'll put that video, which is long. Well, hopefully this website will remain online. We'll talk to our IT folks and hopefully be able to preserve it. Anyway, I've got some information here that I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm going to put Jack's name in here because I don't need to have a ton of information, but I do have to have a description. So this just says a children's book by Jack Cohen created at Cassidy School. So here we go. That is the description on the back cover text. And then I'm going to leave this as a 2-color with image, but I need an image, and this is why I created that rectangular version. So here's the cover 2 version. Oops. Sorry. And now that's going to upload, and it's going to preview it, and I can decide what color. Look at that. It says Your Loch Ness Friend by Jack Cohen, and since he's got a little green dinosaur going there, I'll go with green. Hey, doesn't that look great? Use this cover. Could you be fancier? Yes, absolutely. But that is going to generate, and on some of these other ones, on past years, I kind of changed up and used different ones. This year, they've all been the same. I'm just using the same cover, and I'm, sometimes changing the color to kind of match the graphic that they have. But it's just their name. It says a children's book, and that's it. Okay? Boom. Done. So now I could preview it and download it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click to add book details. And so here is another required field. So I'm just going to paste that same sentence that just says it's a children's book. I'm not putting any other notes and things. I do have to do this. I have to choose a main category. So what I do is I just select fiction and choose fiction general, and then you have to add at least one keyword, so I just put the word picture. Anyway, this is if you're going to try to aid in discoverability on the Lulu website. But this is going to be a private link. It's not going to be publicly browsable. And then for audience, I just choose children, juvenile. So it's not for educational purposes. I don't know why that is. Add pricing and details. Okay, we're not making money on this. So the revenue goal is going to be $0.00. So check it out. The students just pay the cost, or whoever wants to order this. If Ms. Finley wants to order copies, or parents or grandparents, it doesn't matter. Nobody's making any money. It's just being printed at cost. So I did that by selecting the revenue goal of $0. And now I scroll down here. I don't have to have a payee because nobody's making money. So now I have final review. Okay? Dun, 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 dun. It is almost completely ready. All I need to do now is check these boxes, I think. Doesn't have spaces to do that. Okay, confirm and publish. I thought it had little boxes that I had to check in here to say that all that looked good. Maybe I'm just confirming it all now with one fell swoop. After I do this, success, your book has been published. I'm going to choose direct access and then click this link that says publish to the Lulu bookstore. All right, and so I know there's no payees. I think it should be good. Okay, great. Order copies of your book. This is what I've been doing all this to get to. This page right here, I'm going to copy this link, is the one that I'm going to send to the student, and they can order, or whoever wants to, can order as many copies of this book as they want. And it's going to take probably, sometimes in the past it's taken a week. Now it's saying 12 to 14 days, so about 2 weeks to order this. But it's going to give you a tracking number and everything. And so now I go into Google Classroom and I can say, well, actually I have a little template here. Because I send them an email too. So I'll send this email afterwards. But I'll send this to him in Google Classroom. Here's the Lulu link. He'll get an email that says that. And then I'm going to send an email. So that's it. I know, that was a lot of steps. But I hope that was helpful. It really is phenomenally wonderful for our students. I've got a whole, stack of past books that our kids have, well, Rachel made that one, but that, Cassidy students have made in the past. These are so cool. And this is a wonderful project. It's one of the neatest projects that I've been able to work on as an instructional coach. I guess actually, and as tech director, I was helping Ms. Finley with this as well. But it really is awesome. But the hardest part that we found is what I just showed you in this video. So whether you are watching this for Cassidy School or somewhere else, I hope this is helpful. Loved helping students create eBooks. Love, facilitating this project. And even though the electronic books are great, and we have students now, which, by the way, if you want to check those out, you can go to studentauthors.cassidy.org, and you can go to our library. So I'll add Jack to this one. But we've got for each student, here's their online version of the book. You can see the video that they've recorded telling about their book, and then you can go to Lulu and order a copy of it. It's really wonderful. We've got a couple students that still need videos. But during the pandemic, we asked students, or Ms. Finley asked students to record these introductory videos because they couldn't go and actually read the books to our pre-K and K students. But now they can. But it's so cool to have this introduction, and these resources are available for anybody who wants to see these books. Yay, book creating. Yay, book creator. Yay, Lulu. Hope that's helpful to you. Good luck with your own book creating projects.